In this video we're going to do some more dimensioning, but I will give you the heads up that I am going to be moving a little bit quicker and not showing you everything step by step because of everything that I showed you in the last video. So I'm going to be expecting you to start remembering this and how to do it, because there's typical things you're going to be doing at the beginning of every drawing. For example, you need to open up the template right now. You need to save as into your 4.2.2 folder, so that model that we already made for 4.2.2, and save the template in there with the proper naming convention. I just called mine 4.2.2 model. After you're done saving, the next thing you should do is fill in the title block with the proper information. So if you look down here, mine is all filled out. The only thing I didn't add in was the scale yet, because I'm not quite sure what scale we're going to go with to help make sure this thing fits in there. So I will come back and do that at the end. Remember, your title block information is in the field text area if you forgot to do that. Remember, that's all standard stuff that you need to do at the beginning of every drawing. Alright, so now I would like you to bring in your 3 standard views, your top, front, and right side, as well as your isometric. So please do that for the 4.2.2 model. So something like this, and remember to do that, it is using your base or your base and projected to bring in those 3 views and your isometric. We're probably going to end up maybe changing the size of the isometric. And one quick thing, remember that the isometric should be shaded. So if you hover along the dotted red line, you can go back into the style. If you double click on that dotted red line, you can go into style and change it to shaded. And while we are there, I'm going to go back into that, double click on that. Let's go half the size. So it's going to be a little model, kind of tiny. And then since we're going to change the scale of the isometric, and just so you know, I did use 1:1 on these 3. I'm at 1:1 right now. So, and since I did change the scale of the isometric, I need to indicate that with a label underneath it because it's different than the rest. So I'm going to click this. There's a label here for the view, and I'm going to type in the word scale in all caps and then colon. And I need to hit this little light bulb so that it turns the label on. So then I click OK, and notice it added a label. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that over here out of the way. Kind of leave that right there, and then I can work on my 3 views here and add all my dimensions. So since I am going 1:1 here with these 3, I'm going to go back into that field text over here, double click on that, and change my scale to 1:1. And now I'm all good to go. Just need to add in all of my dimensions. So I want you to, I want you to stop the video, and I want you to dimension this thing as if you were going to do it without me. And then when you're done, come back, play this video, and see how you did. It's a good way to test your skills, see how you're doing, see if you're understanding the dimensioning standards and guidelines. And one thing I did want to show you as well before you go and do this is that when you add a dimension, for example, like this one, and you bring it up, if you did want to move a dimension like the location of the numbers, you can just simply hover over it, left click, hold, whoops, I gotta get out of the dimension tool, hit escape. So if I want to move this text maybe to over on this side, you can left click hold and simply just drag it over to the other side. So if you need to move something because it's getting in the way, you can always move that text to one side or the other. So go ahead, dimension everything, and then come on back and let's see how you did. Okay, so now that you've had a chance to go ahead and add all your dimensions, this is what I just did. Some things to remember: you want to avoid dimensioning to hidden lines. So don't dimension to hidden lines. The other thing that I noticed when I was doing this, when I went to go add this dimension, let me hit escape to get out of the dimension tool. Let's delete that one. When I go ahead and go to dimension this, I tried clicking this, and then was it this one? Oh no, it did work. Oh no, it wasn't that one, it was this one. Let me delete this one. So when I went to go locate this rectangular hole here with this dimension, Oh, now it's working. Actually, I take that back. Alright, so I got that dimension. Just scratch what I was just saying. And then we'll go to here. There we go. There. Say okay. So I got all the dimensions that I need. Now, some of you may have put this one over here, which is fine. I chose to put it up here so I could still utilize the top view. In actuality, you could get away with just 2 views of this drawing, but just for practice purposes, we are going to do your standard 3, front, top, and right side. So please make sure you got everything you need. I'm going to space these out a little bit, give myself some room. And then let's see, will this fit up over here? I could still maybe move this down a little bit, spread all these out. There we go. Just make sure that that's not running down into the border. Maybe move that up just a hair. There we go. So kind of just clean it up, make sure it looks neat. Go ahead and save this thing. Go ahead and print it. So remember to check your preview, double check your work, don't waste paper, catch mistakes now, and fix those mistakes. If there is a mistake, hit close and make your corrections. And then send it to the printer, turn it in, and finally screen clip this into your binder. So you can go ahead and do that into your binder, and that is it on this drawing.